Handcraft Thermasi, guys, we are back again for another reaction on this here Brbptv. Be real, be positive television, brothers and sisters. I'm your boy Mr. Lix, and we are back. Put on them, brothers and sisters. We are back again for another vibration. So let us get into it right there. Now, guys, I actually got this video a number of times. I did not listen to it, and I decided to bring it forth so that I can do my actual reaction of it, which is what a normal reaction tends to be, guys. So it's actually from Dominica Breaking News, and it's entitled "A Woman Not Pleased with the Accountability Factor in Reference to the Airport." I think that is based off what Skerrit had to say, and this of course is Matt, and we're going to listen what she has to say on Matt right there, brothers and sisters.
The people don't understand what's going on there,
No, they don't.
Skerrit is actually telling you that he's going to give Anthony Hayden passport to sell. And that money, Anthony Hayden is going to front load it to build the airport.
Now, based off that statement, I remember the Prime Minister saying something like this, and he was making reference to something that most likely has not happened yet. And they are going to do such a thing right there to raise monies for the airport. That's what I think. I was listening to the Prime Minister, that's what he was saying. And I was like, well, didn't they raise the money yet? Or he's looking for the developer to go and sell the passports to raise the monies right there? What if the developer has gone out and cannot raise the amount of money needed to build the international airport as a result of the restrictions that are happening all over the place? United Kingdom, US, they are putting restrictions and trying to limit the whole situation involving the CBI program. What if they are not able to do such a thing? Because I think one of the selling points that the Dominica was using, based off different articles that I saw, they were stating that they were pitching that you can, once you get these passports, these Dominican passports, you can then travel to the UK. And I think I know UK put out an article stating that they should not use this as a selling point, because Dominica has free range travel between the UK and of course a number of areas in the European Union right there. So they are saying they should not use this as a selling point if you're trying to do this thing right there. And they were asking the countries that were doing this to cease and desist doing this, or most likely they will end up putting restrictions on that as well. And we don't want this to happen. This is what I'm saying to individuals out there. If we are making bases, or if our leaders are doing certain things that is going to affect us, we need to do what? Stop them from their dirty ways, brothers and sisters. I think that is necessary. Couldn't it be so? It is the people who are to hold the government them, or the officials them, accountable to the things that they are doing on behalf of the people. If the people just don't want to say anything in that regard, then chaos will ensue, which is most likely why they're trying to stop the CBI program, understanding the fact that Dominica has given not just diplomatic passports, but we have individuals who are holders or were holders of diplomatic passports, or ambassadors who ended up being criminals, brothers and sisters. For that which I think Brother Skerrit also stated that he regretted the decision of certain things that he had done in the past. And you think it stopped. No, it didn't stop. It happened recently. I think sometime last year. I can't remember the individual's name, but actually did a reaction on that as well, where another person came out using Dominican passports. Or I don't think this was diplomatic passport. It was actually the Dominican passport that the individual had. And they are the ones who acquired it and, of course, tried to evade. I think that was in the United States, right? There have been a number of persons who tried to do a number of interesting things, and they were holders of Dominica passports. So it is not far-fetched to say that, hey, I understand why the UK and the United States and a number of other countries are trying to limit that or stop it by 2025. Anyways, let's continue right there.
Okay. The contract to build the airport is between Anthony Hayden, the developer, and the people at the CS5 that is building the airport. And in the same breath, I can tell you now, Dominica has given $75 million already to Anthony Hayden for the process of the development of the airport. So what are really going on? You Anthony Hayden front loading the money, or Skerrit on Dominica front loading the money, and how it is? Because it is very difficult to me to understand that a developer is going to pay money to build the airport,
which of course is now costing about $1.3 billion. I've looked at certain research of different airports, and they did not cost all that amount of money, unless you're talking about places like Dubai, which of course, if you see the airport, it's pretty big, it's pretty huge. Now, in comparison that to the Caribbean, I haven't seen, maybe you guys have seen, you can write it in the comment box below for me, but I have not seen any airport that has cost, any international airport that has cost over $1 billion. I have not seen it. The most I've seen is 790 something million dollars. That is the most I've seen. Antigua them renovated their stuff for a few $100 million, not a few, but 120 something, 130 something million dollars. They renovated their stuff. So on the basis of actually building an international airport, I would say okay, maybe 3-4, because initially, brothers and sisters, remember, they were gonna raise $300 million for 3 projects. Remember that? They were going to do 3 projects for $300 million, and one of that was that of the international airport. So a number of things seems to be happening behind closed doors, brothers and sisters. This is why a number of us believe that this airport is nothing else but shut off, a place where they could wash money. They finally found the gold mine for them to wash money, because a number of things don't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, brothers and sisters, most likely it is nonsensical. What are your thoughts, guys? Anyways, this is just my thoughts right there. Let us continue on what this woman is saying on Matt.
Where the airport is going to belong to Dominica? How is that possible? And then now you say, no, we have given the Anthony Hayden $75 million already so far to build the airport. What is in Wesley on the ground there? It's $75 million, all you. The little grade that,
just like the bridge that apparently, if I remember the number correctly, they said it was $18 million. And I compared other $80 million bridges to that of what is in Roseau, mes amis. Roseau, the new bridge they built there for allegedly $18 million, brothers and sisters. That I find was impossible. But no one said a word on it. Huh?
grade on the road in West today and grade on this place in West today is already $75 million. Now the bigger question from that is how much Dominicans itself, our people, has benefited from that $75 million is already spent for the airport project.
Guys, how much has Dominica benefited from Kepinski? It seems like Dominicans have benefited from Kepinski when Kepinski was there. Dominica benefited by actually giving Kepinski money. Because from my understanding, I was told that Kepinski's main revenue is coming from where? The Dominican people. Yet still they build the hotel for people from foreign to come in. Yet still Dominicans are the ones patronizing the hotel. Some of us taking our entire salary just for us to go and spend 2 nights in Kepinski. Our entire monthly salary. Those who lucky enough to spend that amount of money, 2 nights we spend in our entire monthly salary. But that is something else, that is something else, boy. You work for 30 days. Well, during the course of 30 days, 1 month, some of us working 6 days a week, 30 days within that month, brothers and sisters, to get a salary that is about, let's say, if you're lucky, you get $1.2 or $1.5 thousand. Easy dollars, mes amis. Easy dollars. Boy. I feel to cry. I just the thought of that. Anyways, that's not the point. Let's continue, brothers and sisters. That's how the people like it.
How much Dominic?
I feel so sorry just saying that. I mean, back in Ross, we used to make a level amount of money, and then we used to actually make overtime, and our overtime used to be my overtime, especially when I started at Ross. My overtime used to sometimes be higher than my own salary. So obviously the money would double. My overtime. The people are like us, you know, our bosses were there. Like anytime you're on campus, claim your OT because they never know people might be, you know, in need of help. Some of the students, and that is of course part of the job, right? There to help individuals who are in need of help. So if you're on campus and you're doing something or whatnot, even so, and then right now they're trying to cramp down on people. Some people don't even have the opportunity to do OT on 1,000 if. Oh God! If you're making $1,000 a month in Dominica, the NEP workers they
He can at least if $50,000 from that money there has gone into a Dominican hand.
But I know $30 million went to foreigners' hands. $30 million US went into foreigners' hands.
$100,000 from there has gone into a Dominican hand. All those city need for us to get scared running from Dominica, all you. Is it that we can't understand numbers or we just blatantly foolish?
The wicked is wicked people wicked for seeing things happening to them. Not for them, you know, mark you, but to them. I remember watching a lady in one of them campaigns and the lady was hele whoop, 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 whoop. You swear that the lady was getting a lot of money after election campaign done and all election finish. A few months down the road, I was wondering if that is the same lady I saw. Oh my goodness. How is Dominicans benefiting? Right now, brothers and sisters, gas prices has gone up. When you look around the Caribbean, is gas prices going up? The people out there all across the Caribbean watching my videos right now, brothers and sisters, let me know if gas prices is going up in your country. But it go up in Dominica one twice coming. Last month I heard it go up. This month it go up again. And 3 days ago, it went up in Dominica. Things are happening to the people, not for their benefit. It's like they're making expenses, all kind of expenses. Hey, I want to travel, I want to go place, I want to freight myself. I'm going to make the Dominican people pay for it. So let me increase gas prices on them. And the people bawling, yeah. I will never forget when Reginald was in Grand Bay saying he don't care about the $500,000 that went missing. And the people gave a standing ovation. So you don't think things must happen to people and not for them? You don't think that? When man clapping on the things that can benefit them, 4.3 or 4.2 billion dollars, according to Lennox Linton, them has gone missing in the CBI program. Now we're sending somebody to try to make money by going to sell. So where the 4.3 billion dollars, and nobody says nothing.
Like it is a simple, normal thing. If you can't understand it by big numbers, put it in little mangoes, selling mangoes and bread. Put this selling mangoes and bread. What should I believe? Because at the end of the day, let us put the mangoes and bread for you. Okay? I have money in the credit union. Okay? I have a business.
Somebody pointed out something rather interesting to me the other day, stating where they have the building, it seems like it's connected to the NCCU building. I don't know if that is true, but based off of how the building looks, it's a large building. Maybe it has a pathway into the credit union where they can probably go down and say, you know what, I want $1 million. Let me go in the vault, man, and take my $1 million and come out. Maybe. Is that a possibility? Because the NCC is right there and this big building is right there.
Money in the credit union. I have somebody in my shop selling mangoes. I don't gonna put no more groceries so it don't confuse all you. I'm gonna put only mangoes. Okay? I selling mangoes. I sell mangoes before. Myself, I have my little hustle on the side selling bananas and whatever. In the credit union, in Roseau, I have money there. Let me say I have at least $100.
Let me see. Where's she from?
save in the Marigot, in the credit
Marigot.
union in Roseau. But I give you come and tell me how is that? So a person at building house is going to build a house for me. So I have how much mango trees selling mango? You're going to make the person take at least maybe a good 4,000 or 5,000 mangoes or any amount of mango they want from my mango trees to go and sell those mangoes there, and they're going to use the money from there to come and build a house for me, or even though we say, let's put it simple, a pick.
In other words, they're using your money. They're using your money to go and build the house they say is for you. That's what she's saying there.
From the can raise pig. Okay? The person going to take my mangoes that I have you in charge in my shop selling mangoes. You come and tell me, say, you get a huckster that say you're going to take some mangoes from him to go and sell, and then the huckster now is going to pay somebody to build my house for me with my mango money. Okay? You coming back now and telling me, apart from you give the huckster my 500 mangoes to go and sell and to pay the bill, to build my pig pen for me. You telling me you use my $100 I have in the credit union to give it to the huckster. So where my money from the mangoes you give the huckster to sell for me now?
That is the $75 million she's talking about. They giving the man the money for him to go and do things for all you, to build airport, to go and selling the mangoes, to go and get money to go and build the international airport. And apparently you are then taking money from your bank account that is not his own, from your bank account, to give to that guy. So the question here I must ask is, if they are to sell passports, it has now moved to 1.3 or 1.2 billion dollars for airport now. If they were to sell passports, how do we calculate the amount of passports that they have sold? The developer, is there accountability for the citizens to know how much passports were actually sold and how much money was created to build the international airport? What if it takes about 100,000 passports, brothers and sisters, to build that? And the developer went out and he sold 300,000 passports. So you mean to tell me they're going to clock the money for themselves, the 200,000 in addition, and then use the $100,000 to build airport? Is there going to be any accountability? Hopefully the journalists who watching my videos, and they just watch my videos, hopefully they also see to ask the very Prime Minister them questions. It is vital that the Prime Minister it's vital to know this information, because the Prime Minister keeps telling us about how much money needs to be raised for international airport. An important point went out when they were talking about UWP doing the very same thing, right? Not the very same thing, sorry. When UWP went to build their international airport, when they were starting to build it, and a number of persons pointed out and stated to me, Mr. Leaks, how is that possible? That they can be clearing the land, which is going to take it's going to take a lot of money to clear the land, for them to then start doing boreholes. Can they not do the boreholes, clear a certain area to do the boreholes and then move on? Because the boreholes alone going to take about 3 to 4 years to do, according to the calculations given. Non-stop working, by the way. Every day we're talking about. If it takes 15 days, you non-stop do it for 15 days. The next 15 days you do it, boom. It's not like you're doing it for 15 days and you say, boy, let me take a break on the weekend and then come back. No, because that will be a longer time. It will be 19 days if you have to do it that way. Because it's weekend and weekend is 4. 15, 4. So that means 19 days is going to be an additional amount. True or false? Let me know, brothers and sisters. So these questions need to be asked. I could be wrong, brothers and sisters, but let me know. It's just interesting how things are going in NH Island, the Caribbean. Things are just happening to the people, not for them. And they are the ones who are the banks for the very people who will do whatever mistakes that they want. Tell you. And then they putting it on the people to pay for it. And people clapping. Yes, clap. Ted Kalbas.
If my money I have saved up in the Rose of Credit Union, my little $100 I have saved in my Rose of Credit Union, you take it and give it to the huckster to go and build the pig pen for me. After the huckster take my 500 mango to go and sell it to come back and build the same pig pen. How is that possible?
I think they probably, from my understanding, I think they're saying that they paid the developer or whoever, MMC, whoever, they paid them $75 million for themselves, I'm guessing. And then they have to take the passport money now to go and sell to then build the international airport. Then when developer or whoever is going to take a cut in that money, from my understanding, and then move it and then continue building the international airport right there. So I guess this $75 million is a down payment.
Would you allow that to
And you don't even have international airport yet.
happen to you? Are you that foolish?
Yeah, a lot of Dominicans are foolish. I'm sad to say it. It is a fact. A lot of people across the world are foolish. They tebe, they fully dance, brothers and sisters. Because you cannot tell me things are happening in front of you. There's an individual that is a part of a group. And that individual is telling me that Dominica has one of the best economies in the Caribbean. This individual, I know for a fact, is totally and fully dance. He fully dance. When you compare the other Caribbean islands and you see the kind of salaries they're getting and the kind of economy that they're living in, and for you to come and tell me, a man who has traveled the entire Caribbean, that Dominica has one of the best, if not the best economies in the Caribbean. But if you was close by, I'd give you 2 thump. But God forbid. God forbid. Let's continue. Some people are fully done.
So in anyhow you take it there now, you just losing money and you still don't get no pig pen.
Nothing.
Because you still cannot put your hand and say, this is the pig pen they build for me.
Because you have to sell the mangoes now.
No, you still don't even know when the pig pen going to finish, because of what? The huckster saying, when they finish sell all the 500 mango.
Before she continue, brothers and sisters, remember when they said it's 2025, guys, 2025 international airport will be built. Then they waited a number of times and they came and said 2020, not they, Skerrit. Roosevelt Skerrit stated that international airport is going to be built in 2025. Then he moved the goalpost and said 2026. Then that goalpost has moved already, brothers and sisters, because we find out that the borehole experience is going to take about 3 to 4 years. So 3 to 4 years from now is when, you know how long it takes to finally, after the boreholes is done, to start building an international airport. You know how long it's going to take? Okay.
Penguin and finish because of what? The huckster saying, when they finish sell all the 500 mango and to make the money, is then they're going to really see what they can do to sell to build the pig pen for you.
She make a good point. Because it's not just doing the boreholes that will take 3 to 4 years, but amassing the amount of time it will take to sell these passports, to sell Dominica's birthright to individuals who would most likely never set foot in Dominica, but would like to use Dominica passports for them to go places like the UK, and maybe potentially getting visas for them to go to the United States. Because when they leave and they get the Dominican passports afford them that which the country's passport cannot afford them, with the abilities that they are now able to come to the United States once they apply for visas, if they get through.
So you know you're just losing. That is what is going on in simple terms, all in simple terms. The simplest way I can put it for you.
Simple terms. Brothers and sisters, what has Dominica benefited in? What has Dominica benefited in? They have killed the economy, and as a result of killing the economy, they are building homes for you to stay loyal to them. If you don't stay loyal to them, guess what? Chupul! They're going to take you out of the house. Isn't it a huge possibility? They're building house for a number of people, thousands of people who would then have to stay quiet if they talk about the situation that they are involved in. This is one of the reasons why I mentioned the individual in St. Joseph. By the way, guys, I dropped an aerial video on Ariel Dominica of St. Joseph, so you guys will see that in the first comment in the comment box below. The individual was stating how bad Addis King was. He was stating is their people, how terrible she's the worst thing that happened to Senjo. That's what he was saying. Ask yourself, what has these individuals who are power reps for Senjo done for Senjo? Ask yourself that. He came out, he vexed, he frustrated. Then he came back a few days later saying he apologized for what he was saying. Why? Because most likely he's fearful of losing that which he know the economy that they have killed cannot produce for him. So he has to be loyal to these people at the top and come and apologize. What do you think? Yeah. Okay then.
Scary say he front load and give Anthony Hayden $75 million for the airport, which Anthony Hayden was the one that was front loading the money with all passport money to give to CS5 to come build the airport. So all the little nonsense that going on west today already has already.
It's CR5, not CS5. CR5, China Railway.
They spent $75 million. How is that possible? How is that possible? We have to know money. And then now again to know you have children. You have family members. They don't get out even a little job from it. All the money just going so you don't know where the ass is going and you still not getting no money from it. You still not getting the pig pen and you still not getting nobody from you getting a little employment to make a money from the money.
The amount of foreigners that will be making money as a result of that. And Dominicans, they say, I remember the other day the interview they did. They have these individuals, there's 58 people coming in. That is just, I guess, the head of individuals are coming down. And I'm guessing maybe they'll bring their own people with them too. CR5, that's how China normally works. They bring their people with them to work. So it seems like if Dominicans were to get any sort of benefit from them working there, is the drugs they'll be getting. There's trucks and stuff all over Dominica. Then people bring down new trucks. They already have the Dominican strong trucks there, you know. They leave those there and they bring down new trucks. So you have a set of red trucks or sit down in Kenville or Massac, wherever it is there. You have the trucks or sit down, brothers and sisters, on their hind legs, on their hind tires. They sit down, brothers and sisters. And they bring in new white trucks. Outside of the fact that Dominicans also have their trucks that they can use. And this is why the trucks are there, so they can use their trucks to do work that needs to be done in Dominica. And Dominicans just pull up there, just watching things happen to them. I remember them truckers went out and protested. They have a meeting, and what came from it? I remember there was an individual who blocked a part of his land. A group of family of 6, I think, blocked their land. Foreigners were using the land to do things. Up to now, they haven't gotten paid. Up to now. And instead, the government coming to their rescue. They're out there. They out there on the road saying they're blocking area for people not to go inside. They on their own. Government apparently leased the land, from my understanding, to foreigners and allow them to use the land, and the families them say, okay, you'll use the land, we have to get level of compensation for that. Up to now, from my understanding from that last video I did, they haven't gotten compensated and have to take people to court. That is the level you reach. And they're using the court system to then, that is already a very slow process. So if you have to use the court system, they put in that matter before the court, and that matter might come 3, 4, 5 years. Even longer than that, because I remember an individual in Marigot was working in the airport. Up to now, they don't settle for the boy, knowing that they have been wronged, knowing that they were wrong and he was wronged. How much years? 8 years now. The court system, you think the court system fair? Brothers and sisters, let me know your thoughts on this whole situation right there. Do you think it's just maybe us that thinking this way? We seeing money just going vi up and down the place. It was 3 projects that was for $300 million, including international airport. It went up to $1 billion. Now it's $1.3 billion to build the international airport. Brothers and sisters, what I know. Let me know your thoughts in this regard. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more. Definitely subscribe and turn on the post notifications so you can get more videos as they tend to come through, guys. Click the thumbs up button, guys. Click the thumbs up button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Brbptv, be real, be positive.